talking earlier, I'm going to go back to the guns for a moment.
Ah, yes.
You had posted this on your Instagram that you have 1% of all the 9mm Super GP100s on the planet.
Hmm.
Now, these two are not the same.
They're closer now than they were.
Is this the way they are in the picture? Is that how you bought them, or did you modify them when the picture was taken?
The one on the bottom, that has the Hogue extended cylinder release, so both of them have that now.
Okay.
They both actually have the Hogue rubber grips as opposed to the Ruger OEM style on the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, so I in dry fire over the winter, I found that one of my guns, the OEM style grips will actually it'll interfere with the mainspring strut, that cross screw. So there's a little tiny bit of a hitch in the trigger as
Oh.
the mainspring strut slides past that screw.
Okay.
Yeah, so I decided, well, I've got a couple of these, like the Hogue rubber ones lying around. I'll just switch to those altogether. And the last difference is a very subtle one. The rear sights are different. The one on the bottom has the Bowen Classic Arms Rough Country, which I'm trying to standardize on, but they're out of stock right now, so I'm stuck with the Ruger factory ones up top.
Now it also looks like you're missing the hammer on the upper.
Yeah, so that one came to me with a bobbed hammer.
Is that a replacement part or?
As I understand, David Olhasso did that one. So he's kind of the guy if you don't want to work on your own Rugers.
Oh, okay.
I had
And
the
I know
chance.
he's a big Revolver guy.
Yeah.
So
As he, I'm told. I think I've been told that he was pretty involved in the design and release of the Super GP100 in the first place. So it's kind of got his fingerprints on it either way around. I had a chance to pull his trigger a couple of times at the IRC last November, and
are you allowed to say that in public? You pulled his trigger?
well, I was going to say, I had a chance to play with his gun. No, that's not any better, is it? No. I had a chance to at the safe table. No, there's
Okay,
not a good way to say
there we
this. Yeah,
go.
I pulled the trigger on his revolver at the safe table at the IRC, and his are still a little bit better than mine. Even after all the work I've done on them and all the stuff I figured out, you're being like an actual gunsmith with actual tools and not just a guy in his basement with a couple of files. He's I think still probably the premier Ruger whisperer if you're looking for the very finest trigger pull you can get.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna blow this up real. Here we go. We're both using terms. All right. There we go. Now, the grooves are these slots all the way through into the barrel, or is this just on the outside on the frame?
So that's just they're just lightning cuts on the barrel shroud.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because it looked like I could see the barrel underneath, but I'm like, well, maybe I'm just seeing the barrel on or the steel on the other side. I didn't know.
Yeah. So it is the barrel under there.
Okay.
Yeah, but no further than that. Just through the shroud, which is good because they're pretty nose heavy guns. As it is, anytime you have a revolver with a 6-inch barrel out front, there's going to be a lot of weight in front of your hands.
Now, what revolver do you normally use in competition?
Well, I only got the second one pretty recently. So last year I shot the one on the bottom.
Oh, okay. I've seen you've put an optic on a revolver.
Yeah. So the last year I carried the 9mm as my main gun, and I brought the 357 around to matches as my backup, which meant carrying 2 calibers, which was not great for my back.
Right.
Yeah.
Or your wallet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that I've got 2 9s, the 357 is my open revolver gun. So which I think that might come out, like I said, for an I-Core match this year, and it's going to be I'm shooting that at the Falling Steel World Series, so that should be a good time.
Okay. Now, where's the I-Core match going to be at?
That's at Antolani.
Oh. Your backyard.
Yeah, more or less, like a 4-hour drive, I think.
Oh, wow. I didn't expect it to be that far away.
Yeah.
I actually
Well,
thought was no more than nationals, but I guess I'm wrong.
Pennsylvania's pretty wide that way.
It is. It's quite wide. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bed and breakfast out there that I like staying at, whose name I'm not going to give because they have beer on tap in the common area, and I don't want that getting out too far.
All right, we won't share the name then.
Yeah.
Do you plan on shooting your open revolver in any matches?
I might bring it out to like USPSA locals a couple of times too, beyond the two majors it's going to see. It's fun in a different way than regular revolver. Just like it takes some of the iron sight alignment stuff out of the picture, obviously, and lets you focus more on the reloading fast, which is the part that looks the coolest. So it may end up with some barrel ports this year, but it's kind of an awkward like the design of the muzzle is kind of awkward to get a good port in there. So I guess we'll see how it turns out.
I thought I saw a post where, and I'll be scrolling forever, but I thought I saw a post where you shot your open revolver and in a classifier, and you were 84% in open division.
Yeah, that was I think probably a little bit further down because that was the January match at one of the locals.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it's the 2206 I think right there on the left. Is that Blues Don't Care?
Okay. So just enough that you didn't have to reload.
Yep. Yeah, that's typically going to be the I think the limit on my open classification when I'm shooting revolvers is the number of reloads. I think
all right.
1 I can maybe get to like A class on open classifiers. 2 I'm probably down in B or C.
Okay.
0 I can do pretty well apparently, but
yeah, not too shabby. Pretty solid.
These little stand and shoot stages, that's one of the places I do best at, I feel like, at local matches. There have been a couple of times over the past year or so where I go to a local, I finish kind of in the 70-80% range a lot of the time, which is, again, pretty typical for revolver guys shooting against high-capacity semi-autos. Right. But then on the classifier, like a 6 or 7 round stage there, I'm up at like 15 or 20% above the next guy.
Okay, so that's where you can...
Yeah, I can make up ground there, yeah.
How long does it normally, when you're training, what's your par time for reloads?
So, I do them kind of I've done them down to like about a 1.6 in dry fire. Well, I've done them to about a 1.6 in live. I think my best ever dry fire reload's like a 1.3, but that was cheating pretty hard, I think, on both ends.
Okay, so starting to move early and okay.
Yeah, but I've shot a 4 aces live with a 1.61, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of roughly what I'll set a par time to. Okay, I also do the Burkett drill kind of, except modified for revolvers. So my par time from beep to moon clip over the cylinder is about 0.8. And the rest is getting it in the gun and closed and up on target.
So are you, when you're flipping that thing over and the cylinder is inverted, are you still having to pop them out, or do they normally fall out on their own?
It's typically a pop for me.
Okay.
I find 9mm tends to swell enough so that it stays in place, but the nice thing about it is that being tapered, once you get it started, it'll come the rest of the way out by itself.
All right, so it's still an easy...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, if you see any of the videos I have where I'm reloading in third person, they tend to end up like 6 or 8 feet behind where I am, just because I don't give them a chance to not come out.
So you're depressing that thing completely.
Yes, it's a pretty violent motion. That's one of the reasons why I like shooting Rugers, because they're built like tanks. So I do all the things that they say you're not supposed to do to revolvers. Like I drop the cylinder open when I reload, and I hammer it as hard as I can to get them out, and I slam it back closed when I'm done.
And they take it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They've had, I don't know, probably like 10,000 dry fire reloads on one of them. That's no detectable difference in it. So.
All right, not a sponsor, but apparently
Yeah,
free
I mean, if
advertising. There you go.
if they want to,
All right. All right. So now we know they're rugged enough to handle all of that.
actually, the only person I've ever seen be more violent to a revolver than me was somebody on Team Ruger. So,
All right.
yeah,
You see anybody beating Michael Pogge anytime soon?
I don't know. So his strength is his consistency and his mental game. Like you were saying about Nils, he's a very good competitor.
That's what I was about to say. So
Yeah.
he's the Nils of revolver shooting.
Yeah. So,
Okay. So
it was close. I think after day one of nationals last year, I don't recall if it was McGinty or Wolf who were close to him, but one of the other top revolver guys, and he just kind of said okay and turned on another level for day two. And
I'm not sure how old you are, Jay, but you look like you would remember Nancy Kerrigan. I feel like might have to pull a Nancy Kerrigan to knock him out of the top
Yeah.
spot.
I don't know. I hope to maybe take a crack at him the honorable way first. We'll see how it goes from there.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, we're going into day 3. You got too big of a lead.
Well, just he'll pull a Rob Latham and win just hobbling around.
That's why he's the GOAT now
Yeah.
of American shooters. I mean, 29 national championships.
Yeah, just forever on top of the charts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what was it? Not last year, but the year before? What? Yeah, I don't think it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, the year before.
Last year he was a little bit down. I think Nils shot single stack last year too. So.
Oh, yeah, okay, then that's not fair. So,
But
yeah.
I mean, even now, I think he's a very good example of the fact that you need more than just being able to run around to win.
Well, Jay, that's what I've got. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about or bring up before we close this thing down?
I think we got a pretty good coverage of the topics that I am most qualified to talk about.
And allowed to talk about.
Yeah, revolvers and mathematics; those are kind of my things.
All right, there we go. Well, I appreciate you coming on. This has been a fantastic talk.
It's been a great time.
All right, we'll have to have you. You know what? How about after Iron Sight Nationals, we have you back on?
Yeah, it sounds like a great time.
Awesome. And again, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Until next time.
Don't be a little bitch.
Yeah.